Otherwise, by the time I go to next screen, it will be very, very fast. So you have to get there first. Okay, under create, on the ribbon, in the form area, form wizard. Okay. And on the top, you see table queries. You click this arrow and find out course, table course. Once you choose table course, all the available attributes will be here. We select all of them. That's a double arrow mean. Okay, before I go to next, I want to wait here for a few more seconds. Number one, you go to create form wizard. Number two, on this screen, you choose course, table course, and once all the available fields showed up, you choose double arrow, pick up all of them. Ready? Okay, next. And stay at column, no change. Okay. And after that, next. And here, you can do this or you can do this later, but I like to do this right now. Course, you change this one to new course entry form. Okay, default is course. You can type this in as new course entry form. Okay, and once you type all this in, finish. If you say, well, I missed this one, I click the finish, that's fine. We can do this later. So finish. This is what you are going to see. The advantage of typing this, typing the title over there was you see new course entry form showed up here, and the new course entry form showed up here. One stone kills two birds. But if I say, if I missed, what do I do? No problem. So number one, you come back to design view. Here, design view. Once you are here, you can close this portion in my case. And this is what we call a form header, detail and form footer. Okay. So number one, we have to put the cursor under the form footer bar and drag that down until you see this sign. You drag this down, create some space. Okay. And then you on the design, like form design tools, go under design, and you see lots of controls. And this one, we have to put a label. When you move the cursor over A, capital A and the lowercase a, underneath you see a tag says label. See here, label. So click and then create a label box in the footer section, form footer section, and type in your name. Okay, make sure don't type in somebody else's name. Okay, that's first portion. And if you forget how to create this space, simply move the bar, move the cursor right below the bar until the sign becomes this kind of cross sign but with arrows. You can drag this down, push this back or drag this down. Okay, same thing, you can resize this one a little bit if you don't need this much space. And you can push it back a little bit more.
How did you get added lines under form footer? Because when I'm extending it, it's not going below the form footer section. It's just extending.
Right. You have to put the cursor right below the bar until you see a cross sign, and then you can drag it down. You see that?
Yep, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Again, same idea for this portion. Okay, that's the second question. So I put the cursor right above the bar of detailed bar, and then until I see the cross sign, and then click and hold, drag down. Now I see the border of this title box. So I click this border, and I can push this back, move this around, and if I want to change, I can put the change it here. That's the situation. If I forget to enter this information for the first time, how do I fix that? You can click here. And you can also do some formatting work. Select this box and go to the format ribbon. under form design tools. You can change the color. You can bold it. Okay, something like this. You can center it. So details, I guess, once you know how to do this, where to go to do this, and the details, just like the operations in Microsoft Word. So you can figure that out. Okay, I don't want to spend additional time on this part. Okay, save the work. Make sure. One thing I mentioned, if you want to make sure, if you see some space not enough, so you can, like, for example, drag this to provide a little bit. For example, if the course name is too big, and then you can make this box a little bit big, so that you can see all the information in one box. You don't need to move around. And once this is done, save the work and close it. And here, if the name is not new course entry form, point to this right click. You have rename box. Once you go to rename, you can change that. Okay, you can click and then put a new name here. And once it is done, enter it. So that's one. Any questions for this one? Header footer, I guess that's the one. Header footer, I guess that's automatically added, right? Let's see. Once you are in the design view, this is a footer form header, and this form footer. Form footer originally was not there, and then you have to move the cursor right below the bar until the cursor shape changes from arrow to a cross sign with arrow. And at that moment, you drag that down. It will create some space. That's the way to add footer. Header is already here. So once you add footer, you add this label box. Okay, I can do that. Show that in the next requirement. Next one. I have to create a main form first. Okay, and the sequence is create form wizard again. This time I'm going to choose student table, not course table. So I choose table student and pick up all attributes. So up to this point, basically stepwise is exactly the same, or those steps are exactly the same as we did in the previous first form. And the next, same thing, keep column. Next. And here we took opportunity to type this in as a student and grade entry form. Student and grade entry form. That's the title. And the finish. Oh, I have a listed space. Okay. So everybody is okay up to this point? Finish. That's what we have. Okay. So seems like I entered those information. The form name is okay, but the title kind of underscored and no footer. So that's why let's fix those one first. The other information looks okay. So how do we fix those one? Go to design view. Now that's the original situation. This is a form header. Okay, automatically there. If you want to move that one, you can put the cursor on the top of the detail bar until the sign changed to a cross sign with arrows. Once the sign changed, that means right spot. We can push this bar down a little bit. Now you have the chance to work on this title. You can make this box a little bit small, and then you can drag this to the right, make it big. Now you see the underscore here. Wait a minute, we entered a dollar sign, but why do we see underscore? Let's click inside to see what happened. It is a dollar end sign. So we have to put another one, because in Microsoft Access, the design mechanism used was a Visual Basic. If you want to use a one end sign indicating the one next to it is a like underscore. Whatever the letter you put underscore, just like our design here, create the other menu and kind of quick menu. Let me show that you later. But right now, let's put another end sign here. It will show the real end sign. Otherwise, it will show underscore. Okay. And this is for the design manual design. I have this here. Now I see this here. So you see, if I go to view, and you see F is underscored, which means at this moment, if you press the key F, it will just like you make this a selection. Okay. That's the design mechanism. Since we and they used end sign to indicate this. Since in this case we have one end sign originally, so the next space has been underscored. That's the reason. If you really want to show the end sign, we have to put two end signs. That's fixed. That's minor problem. Okay. If you see underscore, which means you missed one end sign. The otherwise our signature. So we don't have this footer section, so we need to put the cursor right underneath and then drag this down. Until you see the cross sign, you drag this down. That help you create the footer. So we need to put our name here. Do we? Yeah, we need to put our name here. So and go to design view and put the label box, label, and put our name here. Okay, so save the work. And we are going to build a embedded box. So we push this down, move the cursor above the form footer until you see the cross sign, drag this down. Create some space here. Okay. I'm going to push this up a little bit. Space maybe sounds like important to me in this case. Okay. I leave some space here, save the work. This is what I call the main form. And we need to create a subform. So I can close this one. And I'm going to next create a subform 6-2. 6-2 slightly different. So go to create, still form wizard. We are going to choose a grade table. Okay. If I bring this in, that's the description. Form wizard table. This time we remove student ID and choose data sheet and finish. And after that, we open both student and the grade entry form in design view, and then drag grade subform in, because we named the second one as grade subform. So that's the description. And now operation wise, we have chosen grade and we choose all of them, but remove student ID. Choose student ID and then send it back. Or you can choose the other three one by one, either way. So that's the selection we had. Grade, no student ID, no SID, only with CRSID, grade, and the term. So I'm going to wait here. This is the change. After that, go to next. We have another change here. This time, it's different from the previous two forms. We have to choose data sheet. For previous two forms, we took the default columnar. This one is data sheet. After that, next. And we call it a grade subform. And finish. Okay. I'm going to stay here just in case for a few seconds. Seems everybody catched up. So finish. So this is what we are going to see. So after that, save and close. So we created two forms separately. Now we need to combine it together. How do we combine it? Open student and grade entry form in design view. This is a form view. We go to design view. Go to here. Okay. And the next one, we drag. On the left, you see create subform. We select and drag over to the form, to the student design form. So select, drag, and put it here. About here, you see the logo, the shape of the icon changed. The mouse point is kind of form format. So you say, well, let's put it here, upper left corner, and then release the mouse button. If you need more space, move this to the right a little bit. Same thing, if you need more space, while this is selected, you move the cursor on the border and then drag this to the right. And the form size, if you need more space, drag this to the right. Basically, the combination is done, save the work, and see the result, how it looks like. Okay, this is how it looks like. So student and the grade entry form, you have your signature, you have the subform. If you need more space here, you can move this to the right a little bit, just in case you can show the information here. Okay, move this to the right a little bit more, so that you can see all of them. Okay, and I'm the first student, seems like based on the student ID, I have not taken any courses yet. If I navigate to next student, one course, the student has taken one course. This student has taken one course. Okay, next student. This student taking many courses. Okay. So if you see this space is too big, you can come back to the design view and then maybe push this up a little bit. Push this up a little bit. We may not need this many space.
Will you explain how you did that again in how you got the grade subform?
Combine or create a grade subform? Which one?
The create.
Create.
No. I'm sorry. The grade subform.
Yeah, create a subform. You have this one or you don't have this one?
I have it, but
you
I don't have it.
The combination.
I don't have
the
it.
Combination.
What'd you say?
The combination. Put them together.
How do I do that? Do I drag?
Yeah. Now I try to figure out what's the question. So you have the grade subform, only you want to know how to put them together, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just drag, select and drag. So I go to design form, I delete this one. Right? That's the original case. You go to the first one, student and the grade entry form, open that in design view. Open that in design view. This is design view. Not in the form view, in design view. That's the first thing. Once you are in design view, you drag the subform over this form. Got it? Yeah, let me delete this. You open student form in design view because you close this one. If it is still open here, you only see the grade subform here, and then drag it over.
When I open my student and grade entry form, in the student ID, there's more than just one.
No, you go to design view first. Don't see the results.
Okay, so I'm on student and grade entry form design view right now.
Yeah, and then you drag this over. Because the keys, some issue may be related to previous steps. not related to today's operation. So that's a separate issue. We have to handle that separately.
Never mind. I just got it.
You got it? Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so save that and then go to view. Now you see this one. That's what we were a moment ago.
Okay.
So I'm going to take you a few more minutes and then work on the save the work on the setup form. Okay, maybe hope I can get this major portion done within 3 minutes. So form wise it's done. So let's go to. I'm going to skip number 7. By now, seems like I don't have time to do this, but I need to use some extra time to get number 8 done. Okay, so number 1, go to create and go to form design. I'm moving slow a little bit here. Form design. This is a blank form, blank. So for this one, we need to bring up the form, show the form header and the footer. How do we do this one? Move the cursor next to the button of detail. It's a button here. You see detail section next to it. And then right click. Now, once you right click, you will see the options. So I'm going to wait here for a few seconds, make sure the whole class will be able to find it. Okay, move the button over. So, okay, if you are here, that's fine.
How did you create the form again?
Create form design.
Form design. Thank you.
It's okay. Okay, so sometimes it's easy to be overlooked. It's okay now. Form design. Now move the cursor next to detail. Right click. Now you see form header footer. Click that one. Okay, you can do this. You will get header and footer. Okay, if you missed that one, I do this again. Close this one. Start with create form design. Form design. And while we are here, move the cursor over to the little button next to detail. Right click until you see this pop-up screen and choose form header footer. Click. Now we have form header footer. And we can push this bar up, form head footer bar up, so that I can see whole thing in one screen. If I need more space, I push this down, something like this. Okay, now I see explicitly form header, detail, and the form footer. Form footer this time, I guess we don't have to put our name here, so we can save some time. Form header, I can put quickly. I can put a main menu here. Put a label box. Main menu here makes it look a little bit professional. But you say, well, this is not required, and you don't have to put anything here. Okay, but I simply show you we have the chance to do this. Main menu. And the key is we are going to create some buttons. For example, I'm going to create one button. Go to design view of form design tools. I create a button, and that button will help me run a query. So you have the button. Under design view, you have the button. Okay? The one next to capital A, lowercase a, that's button. Select this one and go to detail section. Drag this created space and release the mouse click button. The moment you release the mouse click button, and this screen will show up. Okay, this might be some some student miss, so I'm going to cancel this and delete this button. Do it again, just in case. Okay. After that, you should feel comfortable. So, in here under design ribbon of form design tools, under control section, you choose button. Click and then move over. You don't need to drag for just click. And then once you move over in the detail portion, you select upper left corner and specify lower right corner, drag, and release the button. This screen will show up. The moment that this screen show up, and then we can come back to here. What do we do if you are going to build a button for query? You choose miscellaneous, choose run query, and then later on you select particular query, and in the text box you specify the name of that query and finish. If you are working on a form, you choose form operations, open form, and select the form to run, and choose default next. In the text box, you type in the form name, finish. And back button, you go to the form, close the form, next. Startup, you use, how do you put this as a startup? You go to file operations, current database, and display form startup. Okay. So go query. So first one, this I'm going to run a query by building up this button. So I'm going to choose miscellaneous in the category, and under action, I choose run query. Miscellaneous, one query. After that, next. Ready to go to next? Or I need to wait? There's no answer, which means I can go to next. Okay, next. Here, I want to choose this is the query available. We are going to run the first one. Senior student. Pick up a one, next. And in the text box, I'm going to put senior student so that people know when I click this button, which query I'm going to run. Okay, and the next. And the finish. For this one, we don't need to worry. Okay, finish. Okay, you can repeat this 5 times. So if you miss the first time, you let me do very quickly for the next 4 queries. So I go to design and pick up a button and then drag this and choose miscellaneous, choose run query, next. And the next one I'm going to choose, that should be outstanding student. So next, and type in outstanding student here. Next, finish. Okay. And continue 3 more. I'm going to do this relatively quick. Miscellaneous, run query. Next, this time is a course enrollment. And I enter course enrollment here. Course enrollment. Next, finish. 2 more. Sorry, take you a little bit extra time here today. Miscellaneous, one query, next. New student this time. And query. Next, finish. 1 more. Push it down a little bit. Button. And miscellaneous, one query. Next, pre-enrolled students. Next, pre-enrolled student. Pre-enrolled student. Next, finish. So I have 5 buttons, 1 for each query. So save the work, and I'm going to continue. This one, name this as a start up. Start up. Okay. So I'm going to create the next 2 buttons for form. So go to button again, and create this. And this time, form operations and open form. So this is new. I'm going to wait here for a few more seconds. Because a moment ago was query. This time we are going to work with form. So choose form operations and choose open form. Form operations under category action, open form. Next, we have a couple of forms. We are going to work on the first one, new course entry form. And the next. And this one, no change, just go to next. Now, in the text, we choose new course entry form. We type in